Hello, denizens of YouTube, and right now this is my Junkyland, and I'm bringing you the review of Spawn. It's Spawn, specifically Spawn Book 1 of Spawn Origins. And as you could tell from the title, this is a compilation of different issues concerning the original one was ran first from the 90s to to basically to now actually you could still buy new Spawn volumes. Granted, you could volumes more issues. Granted, it may be a bit more confusing because we're at like 366, probably close to 367 now. But yeah, like if you wanna possibly maybe buy a new buy the main series actually. That's yeah, the main series. I've seen other series happen. Like one was it was like an alternate take of Violators like Origins, and another was like a current was like another one was about another gunslinger spawn issue. I wanted to get that one, but I couldn't find issue one, and I don't want I couldn't find issue one, so I just decided to get the Pale Knight, which you saw me review earlier. But anyways, onto the story itself. We follow Al Simmons, who returns from Hell and becomes the Hellspawn, which is a high-ranking a general in Hell's armies. And he made this deal from a high demon named Malbolgia, which right, right- we see right here, as you can see, and he is now also has the odds enemy of the Violator, aka Clown, who has to basically train him to use up all his power, which he has. He does have. He can use superpowers, but he's limited by a little meter. And if he uses it all, then he is forced to become the the general of Hell's army, an ultra powerful being. But there are other beings like Angela, Angela, who is a hunter of Hellspawn, and she wants to essentially eradicate anyone who wants to who is resurrected. She often hunts the quote unquote younger ones who are way less experienced, and essentially tries to kill them off before they could use up all their power or succumb to the darkness. I believe. Yep, we're about to show you beauty right here. We even see medieval spawn, which I believe it's its own series, or I may be thinking about Dark Ages. Granted, there were I heard a lawsuit happened, which caused a whole lot of heckin' lot of issues between different characters and different other stuff. So yeah, it may be a bit of a mess, and unfortunately for some of y'all, this is an interconnected universe. Specifically, from what I could tell, this is connected between Spawn, Savage Dragon, and another comic called Young Bloods, which I may not, which I don't know much about. I know Savage Dragon is about is actually a universe where essentially if a character dies, then they're dead for good. They ain't no coming back. There's no alternate universe. Nothing else. That's all I've heard about Savage Dragon. I don't know much about Youngbloods other than the important character plays in there, and that character name is actually the killer of Al Simmons himself. Well, the killer of Al Simmons himself, with his name being being Chapel. Want to do that? Anyways, yeah. Chapel is a. I don't know if he's the leader of the Youngbloods, but I may do more research into him after. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. The comic is pretty gruesome. It's you can see the foundation work of 90s anti-heroes. You know, the big guns, the big muscles, just fighting bigger guys with bigger muscles and bigger guns, specifically cyborgs. By cyborgs. That's the thing I haven't seen people talk a lot about 90s anti-heroes. They're always a cyborg or fighting a cyborg. You know, they have an enemy that's a cyborg or something. Which I found a lot of people don't really talk about. And the thing is about the some people's exposed to Spawn, they may know of the HBO series or the film that's PG-13. The film does strip down quite a bit. I do like I will admit I do like the soundtrack from it, which you can probably check down, which I probably put down in the description along with a bunch of other stuff like where to buy Spawn, and other stuff. And well, I've seen the animated show. It's a bit. bit more into Spawn, but it's like more like psychological. It's more like slow well, not really slow. It's more like deep and brooding, and from I've seen people call it nihilistic, which yeah, there are some points I do agree with. And like one difference you may see is the death of overt kill. Well, in the show, and both the show and comics, Spawn does in fact, Al Simmons does try it and like succeeds stealing some government weapons to kill Overkill after he gets beaten up the first time. Now, and what they differ is that in the show, he performs a sneak attack on him while he's getting repaired from like the damage Spawn was able to inflict on him. While in the comic, he actually does he wants to a rematch with him to show that he is like powerful. And what happens to Overkill? This much, like there was no blood. He is like just gone. Like like I don't. Let me just show you this beauty. Like look at this. Look at this. He just gets annihilated. The man he is gone. He is nothing but scrap metal to turn into a bullet. And you know, and what's interesting is that the main, another villain, Billy Kincaid, who dies in the first season, gets uh, gets shot in the head by Violator himself. While Spawn doesn't take his child killing spree too seriously, considering you know he wants to protect Sion, which it's not actually his kid. It's actually a kid after his wife remarried to his best friend. Which although it may not be his, but it's pretty respectful for him to like at least like want to like help his wife even after even if the kid may not be his. Yeah, and and what's interesting is that we actually follow what happens to Billy Kincaid while like and the show Billy Kincaid is dead. Like that child murderer, that child son of a bitch is he gone. While in the comic, we actually see him like go into hell and meet like meet the violators one of Violator's siblings. Yes, the Violator does have siblings who his name is the Vindicator, which we see this little guy dude here. Here we go. We see him. Yeah, that is not Violator. That's his sibling, the Vindicator. Over that's the sibling, the Vindicator. And the thing, and we basically follow Billy Kincaid and how like issue like eight, I believe. This is issue 8. Yeah, we follow like what happens to like some sinners and when they go. What happens to sinners when they go to hell? Well, they somehow picked off and tortured by other demons in different layers. While some, from what I could tell, like either survivors or like certain like evil people, like Nazis or something, like Nazis, which are mentioned to accept the Spawn uniform. Like they are become like armies of a hell. Yeah, and that's essentially interesting to me. Learn about like different mythos, like how Angela over here, like we only see in the show we see flashbacks to how she killed two Hellspawn, but we only see in the comics we only see her kill the medieval Spawn, which as I've said before, and like and yeah, like in issue 10 they actually take a break and it's basically a sort of like commentary on how like comics essentially value like money over like the heart, money over the heart, which we see here of the reference of issue 10. Well, this, which I think would be like pretty interesting to see if it gets animated. I feel like further commentating on like the state of animation and how like the rise of indie animation is could like probably fit into that like little like that little story considering like the issue as I say before is about how like comic companies often issue prioritize creators how a creator can fill like the bank accounts over like the creator's heart, which is referenced as we see here with Superman wanting to help this spawn. Well, and I say this spawn because like earlier, well, actually, I won't spoil anything. You can read it if you want. How Spawn ended up in this little like a circle of hell. But yeah, we see these rows of like hooded men who are essentially the creators of comics, like, specifically superheroes, which as stated before, can like probably like intertwine with animation in its current like state, considering like how people are now taking animation as like essentially an art form. It's not just for kids, and like how essentially like this kind of like this little scale here, I believe symbolizes how like I was considering the heart outweighs the money. It's probably how like how like a comic creator can like love a they'll create some more than how they love how much money they've made them. Apologies, I had to swallow a bit, but yeah, like to say for that time, yeah, like it could basically intertwine with like for my like one example I know is Dana Terrence, I believe that's her name, who created like it was the out our house was the amphibia. Amphibia, like I got this stuff. So yeah, like, I like to just do these videos like in the moment. But anyways, yeah, the Dana Terrence, she's now working with Glitch Productions for her own show, and they can like essentially like and like these like bags, they probably can just represent like any like a creator like for any like anything like they have to draw. Like another like animation creator I can think of is the creator of Final Space, who had like basically all his the whole show just white, like it's just gone, especially like, and that's not even mentioning the creator of like the Infinity Train, like their creations are just gone, like they just removed it. Yeah, and like and if this ever gets animated, I feel like it would be cool to see like him walk down a further walk down another cage of a bunch of different like animated like hands also reaching out for help and those are and those animated hands are like of creations that have been like removed to time for like budget reasons or like tax reasons, and like and animated shows of like different cartoons that are still going on and just want to end. Yeah, and like some additional notes is that Al Simmons and Al Simmons is actually an African American, which you might not know much considering 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 it's pretty interesting considering like considering most of the time most heroes are like white or at least like another race that happens to like be white, but no, Al Simmons, he's fully African American, like and that's not the only one. There's also Wanda Blake, who is also black, but his best friend too, Terry Fitzgerald, as long as with the child, Cyan, all of them are like now. It doesn't really like tap into like black struggles and anything. So if you were hoping it was like sort of representative of that, maybe I'm pretty sure it does like in new issues or maybe like different like retellings of it, but no, like it doesn't really like tap into like how like black struggles or anything like that, and not not really any racism. The only like I guess racism we see is that how like the when he tries to turn into his human form, he just becomes white. He gets like whitewashed by his own like uniform. Like that's really the only like racial thing I can see. So yeah, I apologize for that little tangent, but just wanted to point that out there for anyone's reading. But yeah, like yeah, the penultimate, we see him like essentially stop a gang war by causing both gangs to like kill each other, and he literally like chest busters like his way out of the final survivor, which is a big cyborg guy, and that's not lying, and I'm not lying. He literally says that he literally tells the guy let's play alien, and he just breaks it out of and he breaks out of his own chest. I mean, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, like and in the final issue, we actually find out who killed him. And as I've stated before about Youngbloods, which although I will have to spoil a bit, is actually one of the characters. His name Chapel, which I actually probably said before. My bad, but yeah, Chapel is the killer. And from my head, like some it may have been retcon and like future issues. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but like don't quote me on that. But in some videos, like I've seen a video about like a lawsuit that happened with Miracle Man, and that essentially like spiraled into a whole thing about how like some characters had to be retcon out of Spawn and into like other like franchises. Like Chapel was a retcon, but like as of now, like but yeah, as of to my knowledge of reading Spawn, Chapel is the killer, and he has to kill it, and that's also like some of you may know it from the animated film where he is the Spawn's killer. Yeah, and I yeah, that it's a pretty so far pretty good. Like any some extra additional stuff is that Todd doesn't really like do like paneling like classically. Like there are these shots like here. Well, there's well like some panels like look a bit differently. Like they don't look like the traditional comic sense as like say this Iron Man comic I have. This one, yeah, yeah, they don't look like a normal like the traditional sense of like comics, but he does like it does look like he channels like look at this. He often likes to have like these like big like piece of art like just breathe and just have like an entire panel just dedicated to like a big old piece of art. Like another like a one is that he sometimes will put like 2 pages, make whole entire 2 pages about different ones. Like I know what there was one in the Chapel's Fight System. Yeah, look it up. But he really doesn't like do it well. He does. Yeah, some of it is like regular comic stuff. Like just here, like this little issue. Well, it's just like a black background instead of like the regular white, which some people may have accustomed to. But there is essentially. But that was, well, this may not be a 2 page but sometimes he would even do like the art sideways where you like flip the book instead of like just reading it like this. It's just another pretty interesting thing, but it's also why he also inspires me to do like, oh, just his unique art style and just the way he like likes to just have fun with the different panelings and stuff. Yeah, he also give classical white and just anything else. Yeah, and some cozy thoughts that it's a pretty interesting read. Like so far, like I can see where the archetype of all these '90s anti-heroes like came from, and like I can see like well the archetype like and yeah, so I'd say it's a pretty unique archetype. I believe why most of them failed is because like they as I say before, Spawn he came back for love. Well, I'm pretty sure most of them either did out of revenge or they just were too edgy and like not really that comedic. Because like so the comic can be dark sometimes, but like it does have its comedic moments, like you know with Violate here, and also with some of the homeless dude Spawn likes to hang out with, like Lily and literally, I'm not joking. A few pages before it's revealed that Chapel killed him, they're just singing the Flintstones theme, which is not a bad time to to screw around. But yeah, like that's essentially how like essentially like my review on Spawn. Like I maybe like link some stuff down like about like different stuff like link some stuff down about like additionals about like some well if you want to you would want to buy it maybe like support like the creator Tom McFarlane. There's even some other stuff Tom McFarlane and like some credits to like all of these. You know, the artist is obviously Tom McFarlane and as well as the writer for like all of this, but he's also stated that Alan Moore he was the writer of the Kincaid in Hell chapter that I've seen and Frank Miller he is the writer for the little gang war I've told you about. Yeah, there's even and issue 9 it's been by Neil Gaiman. Issue 10 is made by Dave Sim. Well, yeah, and well, as stated before, it is part of a connected universe, which some of you may know like Spawn does appear in Invincible in the comics, but I don't fully know if they're actually part of the same universe. But I believe they like uses some device to try and like summon Spawn into his universe. Yeah, because as of right now, like this only shows that it's like the universe is set out Youngbloods, Savage Dragon, will obviously Spawn. This is the right now the only universes that are like shown to be connected to the Spawn mythos here. And that would be all that I'm saying. Enough of my yapping, but yeah, I hope you like this video. So okay, good. Bye bye now.